And that's raises the second question, which is, how do I know when to quit? And some people have this false belief that grit is the thing that makes you, and you never quit. That's stupid. It is just as stupid as to say you always quit whenever it gets difficult. Both are the wrong mentality. My test is very simple. Does the sacrifice feel worth it? If the sacrifice feels worth it, because there's some higher goal you're trying to achieve, some higher purpose, not even goal, a higher purpose you're trying to achieve, then you better show up the grit and you keep going. But if it just doesn't feel worth it anymore, it doesn't feel like I'm contributing to something bigger than myself, then it's time to move on. I was writing a book called Leaders Eat Last. It's the single most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. It was impossible to organize. Each chapter could have been its own book. It was ridiculous. The amount of content that I was, like, Start With Why was something like, I can remember, like 68,000 words or something. When I was writing Leaders Eat Last, I wrote 150,000 words and I was just getting started. I called up the publisher. I said, I think this needs to be multi-volumes. Like, it was impossible. And it got to the point where I couldn't do it. It just, I couldn't figure it out. And so it was about 8 o'clock at night, and I decided I was done. I couldn't do it. I was going to quit. And I literally went for a long walk and planned my exit, planned quitting. I went through the checklist of the things that I'm going to have to do over the next few days in order to unwind from this project. I'm going to have to call my publisher and say, I can't do it. I'm technically in breach of contract, which means I'm going to have to return the advance. I'm going to have to make a public statement. I've been telling everybody I'm writing a new book, and I'm going to have to say it's not coming. So I'll be publicly humiliated for a short period of time. But people are like, what do you mean? You're like, we've been looking forward to it. Why can't you do it, right? So I'm going to be publicly humiliated. I'm going to have to tell my friends I can't do it, so I'm going to be privately humiliated. I'm going to hate myself for a while. I'm going to regret it, and I'll get over it. I literally went through the checklist of all the things I'm going to have to do and prepare myself for. Not sure why I did, but I picked up the phone and called a friend of mine who at the time was in the Air Force Special Forces. I don't even think I said hello. He picked up the phone and I said, what do you do when you can't complete the mission? And as his nature, he started telling me a story. He was in Afghanistan and he was ordered to go on a mission. He's a helicopter pilot, where all of the intelligence said that they were going to get shot down. And this wasn't like a kill Hitler mission where you're all going to die, but you'll kill Hitler. This is like you're all going to die and the mission will fail. Like, it was just a pointless suicide mission, right? All the intel was compelling. And so he and his wingman, they're prepping their helicopter, getting ready to go on this ridiculous, stupid mission. And his wingman turns to him and says, what do we do? We've got wives, we got kids. This is literally a suicide mission. Like, do we refuse to go? What do we do? And my friend said to his wingman, no, this is what we signed up for. We go. And what he was saying is, we go together. Obviously, cooler heads prevailed and the mission was scrubbed. And so he says to me, is this book more or less powerful than Start With Why? I said, the research that I'm doing has impacted me more than Start With Why. He goes, okay, I'm going to tell you a funny little story. Because before I met you, I became disillusioned with the Air Force. I didn't want to be in it anymore and I was going to leave. And I found this kooky little book called Start With Why, and it completely inspired me. It made me a better leader, and I stayed in the Air Force, and I am so glad I did, because I'm better than I was before. And if you're telling me that this book is more powerful than the first one, he goes, you have to finish it. He goes, this is what you signed up for. You do it. And what he was saying is, and I will be here with you. He made me feel not alone, but he also reminded me that it wasn't about the book. The book was contributing to something even bigger than myself, which is I agreed that I would commit myself to a life where I would work tirelessly to inspire people to do the things that inspire them. And if this is one of the things that I know will work, this is what I signed up for. The sacrifice is worth it. And I wasn't alone anymore. I now had somebody I could call and be like, I can't do this. And he's like, come on, I gotcha. And this is the thing that I learned about folks in the military, which is our friends give us advice like, you got this, yeah, you go. Which is basically like saying, off you go. In the military, it's things like, we go. Even though I have to do the work, we go.